It's One Bills Live, presented by Kalata Health. John Murphy, Steve Tasker on the line. And on the line with us now, joining us, defensive line coach for the Iowa Hawkeyes, AJ Epenesa's coach last year with the Hawkeyes. Kelvin Bell joins us. Hello, Coach Bell. John Murphy here. Say hello to Steve Tasker.
How you guys doing? Had to be on.
Doing great. Did I read this right? You are a Bills fan who actually told Epenesa that the Bills are going to pick him? Is that right?
Well, yes, correct. I am a Buffalo Bills fan. Been a fan since the early '90s. And yes, I wouldn't say I told AJ that that they were going to draft him. It was more like, I really wish that they would pick you.
There you go. What got you into being a Bills fan 20 years ago, Coach?
When I started to pay attention to football, the Bills, were hot. They were up and coming, and so I just stuck with them. The personalities on that team, all the Hall of Famers that were playing. I mean, I really love the offense, love the defense, special teams, Steve Tasker, the whole nine. So I just stuck with them.
That's good. Give us an idea of what the Bills can look forward to in AJ Epenesa. I mean, obviously he's a big-bodied dude. I actually had the privilege of watching your Iowa Hawkeyes take on the Northwestern Wildcats in Evanston this past season. You had a number of guys that were really good players. But what can you tell us about Epenesa?
First off, a humble guy, and that's why I think he's a really good fit, for Buffalo. Just a low maintenance kid from that regard. But you're getting an extremely gifted athlete. He was a three-sport athlete in high school, excelled at everything. Extremely coachable. Guy wants to learn. Probably the most important things to AJ are his family, his very tight-knit family, and second would be the opinions of his teammates. He's a true team guy that doesn't want to is not a me guy, a team guy, doesn't want to let anybody down, but just the ability that he has and just the, just God-given strength and talent. He's just an exemplary young man.
On the line with AJ Epenesa's line coach at University of Iowa. Before you were that, you were a recruiting coordinator for a couple of years, Coach Bell, and I would imagine Epenesa might not have been the most difficult recruit. He told us Friday night he always wanted to go and play football for University of Iowa, huh?
Right, and that's, I've said this before about AJ. He was a 5-star recruit, which, right now in college football, those guys, there's not many 5-star recruits that are looking at the University of Iowa. We've got a great tradition of offensive, defensive line play. We've got a great tradition of putting guys in the NFL, but it's not a sexy spot to land for a lot of 5-star recruits. And it was just a perfect match for us to get that type of kid because he fits in with our culture. Obviously, he's got family history with the program, and we're just really excited not only to get a guy of his character, of his caliber, but the character fit was so important for us. It was just a great match.
Tell us a little bit about his development. He was like a third down guy his first couple of years there at Iowa. This past season, he was on the field every down. Tell us about his progression from the time you first got a hold of him until now as a senior as a draft pick.
Yeah, well, it's hard to transition from high school to college. I don't care what position or whatever it is, and AJ physically, he was absolutely ready to play. But the way that we play defense, it's complicated. It's not, we don't run around a lot of things. There's a lot of fits. There's a lot of technique that was involved that he just didn't have. He had raw ability, which is why we used him on third down, because those were situations where he could play fast because he knew exactly what he was supposed to do. But, again, going back to AJ's character, the way that the older guys in the room really gravitated towards him, helped him out, told him what it took to be, an Iowa defensive lineman, a college defensive lineman, and he wasn't resistant to that. He understood that there were some things that he needed to get better at before he could be a full-time contributor. And, just with those older guys helping him, you could see him grow week by week. And as a coach, I was more and more confident to put him on the field in more than just those pass rush situations. And then this year, it all came to a head. He just kept getting better week after week. In the back half of the season, he played his best football for us.
We're live on the line with Kelvin Bell, Iowa defensive line coach. Hey, Coach, what do you think of all that production at Iowa? What do you think happened to AJ at the Combine? He didn't test well, didn't run well, didn't test real well at the Combine. Any theories on why that happened, do you think?
Well, when we recruited him in high school, we didn't take the stopwatch down to Edwardsville High School to run him in the hallway to figure out whether or not we wanted him or not. Like, it's, when you say don't test well, for me, from my evaluation standpoint, when I'm looking at a defensive lineman, I'm not checking the 40. I'm not checking any of the stopwatch. I need to watch the tape, and then I need to have that guy in camp. Ultimately, with the COVID-19 situation, not being able to get him, not being able to have him have a pro day where someone could actually, put hands on him and see and feel what we experienced for the past 3 years, that hurts. But from a combine standpoint, I can't put my finger on it. All I know is, from my evaluation standpoint, we don't put a lot of stock in it. We don't run a 40 at Iowa. I just don't put a lot of stock into it.
I get you. And I was thinking about how without a pro day and without really their chance to get their hands on AJ, there wasn't much contact the Bills had with AJ Epenesa. I think they probably have a lot of faith in what you're doing at Iowa, right? As a defensive lineman or other lineman as well. The Bills probably figure, well, he's an Iowa D lineman. We know what we're getting. You think that was part of it?
I would think so. I mean, you look at the track record of the guys who we put in the NFL, the Adrian Claibornes, the Mike Daniels, and that's on the defensive side of the ball. Carl Klug, Christian Ballard, and the list can go on. But, on the offensive side, too, we put in a lot of offensive linemen in the NFL as well. And who do you think they're going up against every day? Like, iron sharpens iron. Like, that's something that we think is important here. And we feel really good about the product that we put on the field, both on the offense and defensive side of the ball up front.
Kelvin, I got to ask you, you said Epenesa, you characterized him as a 5-star athlete with a 2-star work ethic. Did you have to teach him how to work hard? Did he get that appetite to be better? Did he show up a little bit timid? Or how do you give us an evaluation of him now?
Well, the thing is, he was always willing. That's one thing. He was never resistant to coaching, never resistant to, hey, getting chewed out. But again, like I said, there's always an adjustment. The high school kids, they all think, if you ask any high school kid, hey, do you work hard? All of them are going to say, yes, absolutely, I work hard. But they have no idea what it takes, especially at the FBS Big Ten level, what working hard is. So that's one thing that, it was an adjustment for him, is working hard just wasn't a Monday thing or a Friday night thing. It was an everyday thing, and it goes with the way you live your life, both on and off the field. So, yeah, but again, he could have came in thinking that he had everything figured out. Hey, I'm a 5-star kid. I had 30-plus offers. You don't need to tell me what I need to do. And it was quite the opposite. He wanted to learn. He was hungry to learn. And I'm excited for him in this situation going to Buffalo, because he's going to be surrounded by, some older guys, and he's just going to continue to soak that up and continue to thrive. I'm really, really excited about the fit of that place.
One area he seems to fit, Coach, and we talked to AJ Friday night, was, we talked about how he liked hanging with his family, how family was important to him. And, it's different up here in Buffalo, small town. It's kind of a family atmosphere. He might like the atmosphere up here, right? He's not looking for bright lights and nightlife, right?
I totally agree. Last summer I was at the Buffalo Bills training camp at St. Lawrence up in Pittsford, and I just went up there, got an invite from the guy who was on a scout, the area scout, and I went, and I was just surprised. And I know Pittsford isn't Buffalo, but just the vibe that I got from, one, the fans that were there, and then two, just it wasn't a glitz and glam place. It wasn't a real big showy place. And I thought, this is not just perfect for AJ, it's perfect for our guys. You got Ike Bucker there, there's Nick Easley, there's Micah Hyde. Those are Iowa guys, and they fit really well. And I think it's a perfect culture fit for Iowa kids. All
right, Coach, congratulations on producing an NFL second-round draft pick, and I think it's going to work out for the Bills. Thanks for coming on the show with us today.
Thanks for coming on, Kelvin.
So. Thank you guys. Go Bills.